Have you ever said, just one more row, and that turned into 20? Or if you've lost track of time finishing a puzzle, painting, or crafting, then you know the magic of cozy, creative, building games.
Hello, I'm Ivy.
And today, let's explore games that are like Tiny Glade. What makes this delightful sandbox so captivating is how it lets you doodle whimsical castles and gardens with intuitive tools. No rules, no unlocks, no scores, just the pure joy of building. And you might think there's nothing out there that quite matches its vibe, and you are most likely right. It's that cozy, do what you want, no pressure mechanic that wraps around you like a warm blanket. Tiny Glade leans more toward being a tool of creative expression. Let's take a look at a few gems that capture that same spirit. But before diving into these unique games, let's quickly compare Tiny Glade to three well-known favorites. What would a decorating and building list be without mentioning Animal Crossing New Horizons? Players have an absolute blast planning and decorating their islands, from tropical paradises to cozy winter wonderlands. While you can certainly plan out your designs in Tiny Glade, it truly shines in allowing you to let your creativity run wild. Currently, custom content isn't an option for Tiny Glade yet, and while it's entirely possible to create stunning Animal Crossing islands using just the official textures, many players enhance their islands with custom content. From the cozy islands of Animal Crossing, let's venture into the more glossy, expansive possibilities.
Primarily known as a life simulation game for both interior and exterior decorating. And yes, you're not limited to just your house. You can create entire villages or neighborhoods. If decorating is your main interest, you don't even have to engage with the life simulation aspects. You can dive right into creating and leave it at that. Although The Sims 4 offers tutorials and is easy to get started with, creating in it isn't quite as magical as in Tiny Glade. Additionally, while the base game is free, many building materials and styles are locked behind game packs. Moving from the smooth and realistic look of The Sims 4, we come to a blocky game that boasts almost limitless creative potential, Minecraft. It has captured the hearts of millions with its endless possibilities. Both Minecraft's creative mode and Tiny Glade offer all the building blocks to their players, while Tiny Glade has a whimsical, cozy aesthetic with a focus on charming dioramas, creations that look like they came out of a storybook. Minecraft provides a more open-ended experience with pixelated cube masterpieces. In Tiny Glade,
you build within a set space, which allows for intimate, manageable creations. In contrast, Minecraft has a seemingly endless plot through procedural generation, enabling you to create expansive and elaborate designs.
Dystopica might seem like the polar opposite of Tiny Glade. One is bright and cheerful, while the other is dark and moody. When the Steam page says, "Welcome to the dark side of cozy," they weren't kidding. Just like in Tiny Glade, you're free to just build and vibe. You place towering buildings, set up highways for your tiny flying cars or ships, and throw in some glowing holograms. You start with set structures and elements, but unlock more as your city grows. So while Tiny Glade and Dystopica may look and operate differently, they both have that cozy, mesmerizing feeling that pulls you in. The soundtrack adds just the right moody touch, making the whole experience feel like a late-night escape into a neon dream. With its distinct style, Townscaper allows players to create gorgeous towns just by playing around. No need to be a master draftsman While it operates on a simple premise, adding or removing blocks to shape your environment, it captures the same sense of wonder
that I feel when playing other cozy creative games.
Each click spawns beautiful segments that interact with one another in delightful ways. And just like in Tiny Glade,
it fosters creativity in a relaxed, goal-free environment.
You can combine elements freely, resulting in quaint towns or sprawling metropolises. The cozy feel is palpable as you watch your creations take shape. But while Townscaper is about creating picturesque towns and elaborate city layouts, Tiny Glade allows for both structures and landscaping, including ponds, hills, and more, but on a smaller map. In both games, you can enjoy the simple, immediate joy of shaping your creations. No objectives, no management tasks, just pure creating, building, and many, many lost hours. There are no resource management or survival pressures in Gourdlets. Instead, you can freely place trees, pathways, and buildings wherever you like. At its core, Gourdlets is about creating your own charming town while watching adorable little gourd beings inhabit it and live their lives. The pixel art graphics are so adorable, with everything in yummy pastel colors. You can see the cute little characters go about their day and interact with the things that you place in their world. It allows you to expand your plots easily, while also unlocking new items and decorations through gameplay. You accumulate points by letting your Gourdlets mature as they interact with objects. And there's also the fun in customizing the Gourdlets' appearances, changing colors and giving them accessories. And while they come to your town with default names, you can rename them too. Some players find the game lacking in depth in terms of long-term gameplay, since it's designed more as a relaxing escape rather than a challenging city builder like SimCity. But that's exactly why the game is in this list. Gourdlets and Tiny Glade share that cozy vibe and focus on creativity while having different paths to achieving pixel zendom. If Gourdlets captured your heart with its endearing characters and vibrant town life, Summer House will draw you in with its nostalgic charm and simplicity. Imagine building your perfect summer retreat set in a 2D pixel art world where you're given various settings to build in, from lush fields to sparkling beaches, to craft your ideal summer oasis with an array of textures and objects, brick walls, iron sheet roofs, billboards, and even air conditioning units. One of the cute features is the little secrets sprinkled throughout the game. As you place certain objects, you might discover hidden blocks or collectible, like a character on a window or a napping cat. These secret blocks add an element of surprise and discovery, making your building experience feel like a mini treasure hunt. And the game's name is perfect. Playing it feels like getting lost in those long, warm summer afternoons of childhood, building sandcastles, or collecting little odds and ends around the neighborhood with your best friend. Unlike Tiny Glade, this game has collections to spice up the gameplay, though the building and crafting aren't as fluid. But like the other games on this list, Summer House is all about unwinding and letting your creativity flow, capturing a vibe that's warm, inviting, and nostalgic. Speaking of nostalgia, this next game lets you rebuild scenes of your grandma's past Monterona only has a demo as of now. There isn't even a release date in sight, just coming soon on the Steam page. But from what I've seen so far, it looks like it'll be worth the wait. You get to build and decorate charming little streets inspired by stories of your Italian grandmother. Recreate the scenes by adding water, sand, grass, colorful houses, and other decorations. Like Tiny Glade, Monterona is a diorama builder with no scores, timers, or pressure. Decorations adapt to their surroundings. Pick up a street light, place it on a wall, and it turns into a wall lamp. Pick up a bush, set it near walkways or outside of doors, and it becomes a potted plant. Pull it up, and it becomes a tree. It's like advanced painting, although I don't think we can resize buildings yet the way we can in Tiny Glade. Maybe that's coming in the future. And it would be great to have a sandbox mode. That's how we'll get replayability long after the story ended. So many things to love in this game. You can populate your scenes with characters that actually move. It's just satisfying to watch. Everything feels vibrant and inviting, right down to the music. You can also share your stories and scenes and see how others have made their versions. Monterona share that same spirit as Tiny Glade, allowing you to create and get lost in your imagination. It's the kind of game that could easily become another cozy favorite, and I can't wait to see what the full game has in store. And we don't have to wait for this next game. In Disney Dreamlight Valley, you get to create your own magical world filled with interactions with iconic characters and embark on delightful quests, all while designing your dream environment. You can lay out paths, plant gardens, and decorate your home and your village. It's like stepping into a Disney movie where you are the main character. The grid-based building system helps keep things organized, but it also means that you have to think a bit more about how to arrange your village compared to the freeform style of Tiny Glade. And unlike Tiny Glade, which lets you create structures from scratch using individual building blocks and elements, Dreamlight Valley uses pre-built structures. This means that while you can create a beautifully detailed environment, the creative process is more about arranging and decorating with pre-existing items rather than freeform building. The game is far from being minimalist like Tiny Glade. It also requires you to complete quests before accessing certain features and decorative objects. This can feel like a barrier for those who prefer a more immediate creative process.
While Tiny Glade emphasizes a fluid and serene building experience with a relatively small number of building elements, Dreamlight Valley stands out with its extensive options for customization, despite having item limits for decorating the valley. And the game evolves continuously with seasonal updates introducing new items and decorations.
You can set up entire themed areas like a spooky Halloween corner or a summer festival street, turning your biomes into a reflection of the season.
It's uniquely yours. You know who else made their plots uniquely theirs? My neighbors in Palia had thought of so many wonderful ways of decorating their land.
This cozy online multiplayer life simulation game invites players to decorate both the interior and exterior of their homes. But for this list, we're focusing on the wondrous possibilities of outdoor decorating and building since we are comparing it to Tiny Glade. In Palia, the flexibility in building and decorating is a standout feature. Aside from crafting furniture and decor, you have access to a wide variety of building blocks made from different materials like wood, stone, and metal. Mix and match these materials to craft unique landscapes and elaborate structures that reflect your creative style. Like Disney Dreamlight Valley, Palia decorates by using objects, not the building units we see in Tiny Glade. But unlike Disney Dreamlight Valley, Palia is more of a crafting and decorating game, as it has far fewer quests in comparison. In Tiny Glade and Minecraft's creative mode, you can jump straight creating with all the materials at your disposal, but Palia requires players to collect resources first. While this adds depth to the gameplay and encourages exploration and social interaction, it may not appeal to those who prefer a more straightforward building, decorating experience. Though this part isn't a con for me, I quite enjoy running around with tools in hand and pocket, seeing other players doing their thing and stopping once in a while to chat. Take a look at these amazing builds by players that showcase just how beautiful outdoor spaces can be. Palia is one of the best games when it comes to decorating. The creative possibilities are endless, or as endless as the 3,000 items plus 1,000 decorative plant limit. With its charming art style and relaxing atmosphere, Palia is a wonderful escape into a world where you can build and decorate at your own pace according to your taste.
If you have a craving for beautiful gardens, Flowscape features a unique blend of creativity and relaxation, allowing you to craft stunning landscapes with ease.
Whether you're designing a peaceful forest, a vibrant meadow, or a serene beach, Flowscape provides the tools to bring your vision to life. Start with one of the 20 unique landscapes, serene valleys to sunny beaches, and bring it to life by painting directly onto the canvas. You have access to over 300 models, including trees, flowers, rocks, and even adorable creatures like foxes and butterflies. It's incredibly intuitive. You simply click and paint, making it accessible for everyone. One of the coolest features is the ability to change the sky and lighting, which can dramatically alter the mood of your scene. Plus, with options to add sound effects like birds chirping or water flowing, you can create a truly immersive environment. And if you're feeling particularly creative, you can even import 3D models to enhance your landscapes further. While Tiny Glade focuses on whimsical structures and cozy dioramas, Flowscape leans toward more realistic looking landscapes and has a broader range of natural elements. Though the graphics might be dated for some people's taste, don't let the 2019 release date detract you. Flowscape continues to charm with its creative scene making capabilities. And because we're talking about landscapes and plants in games, I couldn't resist adding this one. While not really a building and decorating game like Tiny Glade, it certainly has that same mesmerizing feel that lets you sink in into your creativity and watch something beautiful take shape. In cloud gardens, you're arranging discarded objects and planting seeds to encourage nature to reclaim these urban environments. The goal? Cover each scene with plants in a way that strikes a balance between the natural and the manufactured. It sits somewhere between a sandbox toy and a relaxing puzzle. You can jump in into a multi-chapter campaign or stick to a free-form creative mode that's all about experimenting over different plants and objects, watching vegetation slowly creep over concrete barriers and rusted out cars is surprisingly soothing. It transforms scenes of urban decay into lush plant-covered dioramas. The ambient lo-fi soundscapes set the perfect mood, gentle and meditative.
The game wants you to transform ordinary and even damaged items into something beautiful. You start to look at discarded objects differently. There's a message here about finding beauty and forgotten things, which I find pretty compelling. And I just wish there were even more levels to explore. And I know I'm not the only one. That completes our look at the games that come closest to capturing the magic of Tiny Glade. While nothing else quite matches it, these titles offer their own enchanting experiences, giving us a taste of that same creative freedom and relaxation. So, if you're looking to explore beyond Tiny Glade's gentle embrace, I hope these games provide a cozy nook for you to unwind and create. Share your thoughts on Tiny Glade and these other games in the comments. Did I miss your favorite cozy building and decorating game? I'd love to hear about it. Thanks so much for joining me today on this lovely journey. Until next time, I wish you many, many peaceful, happy hours of dreaming up beautiful spaces.